What's up, crew? Coach Joe here, coming at you live tonight. We're going to be discussing meal frequency, so how often you should be eating during the day, and also meal timing. So of those foods in your meals, when should you be having them throughout the day? What are some basic guidelines to follow if you're new to it, and what would be optimal if you are more concerned with your body composition, so changing how you look, and also too with your performance in the gym. So you're looking to optimize your performance. There's some things you can do with your food to help you out a great deal with that. So what we'll do is I'll cover that stuff, and at the end we'll do a Q&A. So if you have questions, you can just comment below and I'll answer them, no problem at all. If you guys are coming to this video after the fact, if this is already over, just comment below #replay so I can see who's kind of getting to it later. We can kind of figure out which times work better. And then also too, if you have questions after the fact, comment anyway, and I'll hop down below and answer them for you. So you can just tag me, ask the question, and I'll hop right in and answer it, no problem at all. So we'll give everyone a minute here, guys. And then if we can get some people in here, we'll just go right ahead and I'll start explaining and we'll take it from there. Just got a quick drink. Awesome. So let's kick it off. So we're going to be talking about first is meal frequency. So how often in the day should you be eating? Now, this is just a general guideline. I know there's a lot of a buzz around, intermittent fasting and all that kind of stuff. That's not what we're covering tonight. What we want to cover is sort of what's the ideal scenario if body composition and sport performance is important to you. So we're going to cover both of those. So now, as a general guideline, if you are somebody who is of, let's say, an average to smaller stature, we're looking to have about 3 meals a day. If you're someone who's, let's say, on the higher end of average to large, like myself, we're looking at maybe 4 to even 6 meals a day. And I know for me personally, when I'm kind of like in the height of my strongman season, I'm going like 6 and sometimes even 7 meals a day just to try and get the calories in because the training gets pretty intense. So if you're somebody who competes, and let's say you are a little smaller, you might want to consider having 4 meals a day just to fuel the workload. Doing things like jiu-jitsu is no joke, especially at a high level. So you want to make sure you're getting the food in to fuel those workouts. So just sort of a basic guideline, guys, anywhere from 3 to 6 meals a day is probably plenty depending on, 1, your size, but 2, your workload. You want to be fueling that stuff. All right. So make sure we have that coming in for sure. Now, of those meals, what are the meals comprised of? Right. So a good general square meal we're looking to have, just like in the coaching doc that I put out, we're going to have a nice lean protein with every meal, right? If you're vegetarian, it could be plant-based, it's fine. We're looking to have some healthy carbs with every meal, and not a ton, right? Just a little bit. What's up, Michelle? And then also 2 is some healthy fats with every meal. Again, not a lot, just 1 serving of healthy fats, and then some veggies, preferably some dark leafy greens, that kind of thing. Okay, so every meal kind of looks nice and square like that. So if you put together what I just mentioned with the frequency and the timing, you're going to have 3 to 4 square meals a day, evenly timed out with all those components. All right. Now, why are they evenly timed out throughout the day in this scenario? This is sort of like the beginner scenario if you're new to it. And number one, most important for sure, if you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced as far as the nutrition is concerned, is the protein intake. Right. So the muscle on your body is what we call active tissue. So it requires a constant influx of amino acids, right? You need that food coming in order for your body to say, hey, I've got the fuel I need to keep this around, because it's pretty costly to your body to keep that muscle on your frame. So, you want to make sure that you have that influx of protein to either, 1, maintain what you've already got, but 2, even to like enhance it a little bit. So if you're somebody who trains with weights, you don't want to go in the gym lifting weights and not get any stronger, right? We want to start to get stronger over time. And more importantly, and I think is extremely important and isn't talked about enough, is it's an investment in your future, right? Like you don't want to be 60, 70, 80 years old and frail, right? Like if you trip and fall, I mean, you could be done in some cases. You might be, broken hip or whatever, God forbid. So we don't want that to happen. So having that influx of protein, evenly timed out throughout the day is going to help you maintain that muscle mass on your body, which is very important. Okay. And it's not going to make you like big and bulky. You're not going to be looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger anytime soon or anything like that. So not to worry. But you do want to keep what you got in your frame and hopefully maybe put a little bit more on over time. So that's number one for the protein and why we keep our meals evenly timed out throughout the day. And then, for let's say someone who's a little bit newer to the nutrition stuff, we're keeping the healthy carbs, healthy fats, and veggies with every meal. So you got those 3, maybe 4 square meals a day, protein, carbs, fats, veggies, evenly timed out throughout your day. So that's kind of the basics, guys. Now, if you're somebody who's looking to, let's say, kick it up a notch, and I recommend, if you're an athlete and you've got down what I just talked about, let's turn it up, right? Let's take it to the next level. And what we're going to do is start to figure out, okay, what's optimal in terms of timing the food in your meals so that you can reap all the benefits of, the training, right, that you're doing and recovering from that, right? Because it's not so much about, all the hard training you can be doing. It's how quick can you recover to go do your training again, right? So that being the case, number one, we want to keep your 3-4 meals a day, whatever you're having, and we want to keep that constant protein intake. And this is even if you're strictly into something like jiu-jitsu, and then especially so if you are lifting weights or whatever. Again, we want to keep that muscle on our frame, and if we can even enhance it a little bit, that'd be great. Okay, so having that constant influx of protein throughout the day, evenly timed out, is what you want. Now, if you're looking to optimize a little more, okay, we want to take our carbohydrates that we have for the day and try and put them around that workout window. Okay, so we're looking to have probably about 70% of the carbs we'd have for the day, or sort of bookending the meals that bookend our workout. That's where we want to be consuming the bulk of that, right? So let's say if you're somebody who trains in the evening, right, you might have hardly any carbs at all with breakfast, but let's say your lunch, you've got a pretty considerable amount. You go to the gym, you hit a hard session, and then after that session, you have the rest of your carbs for dinner. Now, a lot of times, if you're lifting weights or doing jiu-jitsu, whatever, like these are sports that require the use of the glycogen, right, the stored sugars in your muscles. So if you're not having that stuff either leading up to, so you're topping off the gas tank before you get into your session, or right after you've worked out and cleaved that all out of your muscles, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice, right? We need to not only fuel ourselves for the next workout, but we need to repair any of the damage we put on ourselves in this session. So like I said, you want to have your protein evenly throughout the day. Carbs are kind of blocked around the workout and then kept there so that we can recover and fuel our next session. Okay, now, healthy fats. Fats actually have an inverse relationship to carbohydrates. So carbohydrates kind of burn up like real quick right away in your system. If you have a fireplace at home and you've ever built a fire, carbs are like the newspaper, right? They go right up, they burn right away, real quick, in and out. Okay, fats are like the log that you put on top of the flame to sustain it. So when you're taking in those healthy fats, it actually slows down digestion a little bit, which you don't want to do, especially by the time that you're working out, right? If you ever go to like Chipotle or something and you get guacamole or sour cream and you eat it and you're just laying there for an hour, like you just feel so full. Imagine if you did that at lunchtime and then you had to go roll for an hour, right? You'd be regretting it pretty quick. So what we want to do is try and keep those healthy fats away from the workout window. So again, carbs are around the workout, fats are away from the workout, and you're keeping those either if you train at night earlier in the day, or if you train in the morning later in the day, right? So again, you're basically just taking what you would have for your squared up meals all throughout the day, right? Where you have a little bit of everything at every meal. And now you're starting to shift things around so you can optimize your workout time and get the most out of it, okay? Now again, like I said before, if you're somebody who is new to this and you haven't ever done it before and you haven't meal prepped, you're not in a good groove with your food, don't sweat this stuff. This is just details, okay? What I would encourage you to do is focus on being consistent, right, with those square meals every single day. So you get your protein, healthy carbs, healthy fats and veggies 3 times a day, 4 times a day, depending on your size and what your goals are. And then if you've been in the groove for a while, guys, Then we can start to optimize a little more, right? We can start to move things around and play that game of, okay, if I'm training in the evening, I'm going to keep my carbs around that workout. And if I'm going to be training training in the evening, I'm getting my fats away from the workout so I don't feel bogged down, and I can uptake those carbs as quick as I possibly can to fuel my session and fuel my recovery after the session's over. So I hope that all made sense. I mean, this is kind of high level overview. We're not getting into like numbers per se, if you know your macros or anything like that. If anybody has an example and they want me to, I'm more than happy to in this video. If you're joining us late, guys, I was just going through the meal timing and frequency. We'll be doing a Q&A right now, so I'm going to hang on for a little bit. If you have questions, just comment. They'll pop up for me. I'll answer them for you. And if you're watching this video after the fact, just comment #replay. And if you have a question, you can tag me, ask the question in the comments, and I'll hop back in and answer your question there. So I'll take any questions you have now, guys. I'll hang on for a little while, and if we don't have any, we can call it a night, but I will hang tight until all your questions are answered. So feel free to fire away. Just gonna get some water real quick, so don't mind me. So hopefully so far, if you guys are following along with the 6-week challenge, you've had some success thus far with your meals and getting them prepped and squared away for the week. And if you're in a good groove now, hopefully tonight this can kind of help you start to optimize things a little bit if you feel comfortable and confident in what you're doing. So just make sure you scroll here. Do you have any questions? No worries. So we'll give it like a couple more seconds, guys. If you don't have anything, it's no worries at all. Like I said, you can always just comment later with what you got. Tag me in it, and I'm happy to hop in and answer whatever you've got. It is not a problem. It is always a pleasure. So just let me know. So, all right, guys, we'll wrap it up there. Again, if you have any questions, just comment. We can get to them later, no problem at all. But thank you for your time. Hopefully you found that helpful. If you have any other topics you want me to cover in a live video, especially something like this where I can talk about it and then you can just sort of ask questions, right? Like it's open Q&A. Just comment below and I will do a whole other video, whatever you guys want, and we can make that happen. So have a great night. We'll talk to y'all soon.